In this video, I review 3 top-selling portable blenders, juggle blades and slip through a time portal. If that doesn't pique your curiosity, then I've no idea what will. So portable blenders have been around for a few years. They are mainly used for blending smoothies or protein shakes on the go, but they're also great for iced drinks, sauces and milkshakes. I bought 3 for a side-by-side comparison. First is the Ninja Blast. It's the #1 seller on Amazon. It comes in a choice of 6 colours, has a ribbed cup to create vortex when blending, and a capacity of 530ml. It's the heaviest of the 3 and claims to give 10 blends on a single charge. However, it doesn't list the power of its motor, and I have concerns about how long its lid will last. Clasps like these can have a limited lifespan, and unlike the Nutribullet, it doesn't have a latch to hold it in place, although if all else fails, Ninja do sell a replacement for their lids. Next is the Nutribullet, which is Amazon's second biggest seller. It comes in a choice of 6 colours. At 475ml, it's the smallest capacity of the 3, the second heaviest, and has the lowest power motor. And finally, a wildcard entry from Fridja, a British company founded in 2010, made famous by a 2015 appearance on Dragon's Den. This blender has got the largest capacity, the lightest weight, the most powerful motor, and is the only one of the 3 with a serrated blade, a detachable filter and a bottom lid so you can remove the motor after you've blended. It's only available in 1 colour, but has a ring of coloured LEDs around its base, which add to its visual appeal. All of the blenders come apart into sections, so they're easy to get clean in the sink. Both the Ninja and the Fridja have dishwasher-safe parts, and the Nutribullet doesn't. And all 3 are charged using a USB-C cable, but only the Ninja has a cap to cover its charging point. For this review, I decided to recruit my children to assist me with some of the testing while we were away for the week, to give the blenders some real-life testing. To begin, I asked both the kids to pick their favourite blender with no guidance from me. My 9-year-old daughter made her choices based on appearance and brand recognition and picked the Ninja. My 13-year-old son checked the product spec on all the boxes and chose the Fridja, which left me with the Nutribullet, which also happened to be the cheapest one. During the week, we all put our blenders through their paces, doing a variety of blending. Also during this week, I discovered portable blenders are a great way to get good stuff into kids and also make a really good present for teenagers. When we got back home, it was time to put all 3 through some side-by-side tests to see how they compared when given exactly the same tasks. But midway through one of the early tests, the Fridja developed a fault and stopped blending. I poured the contents of the blender into a jug and discovered the blade had detached from the base of the blender. On closer inspection, the Fridja was missing a small screw that should have secured the blade. This was a really disappointing result for a blender which seemed to have so much going for it. So, as I always do, I contacted the brand explaining that I was making a video and reporting the problem to see their reaction. Now, I am a small channel and sometimes I don't even get a reply from the brands, or I get a very generic reply 5 days later. But not this time. Within a few hours, I had a reply from Ben, the company founder, who was on a business trip in China in a totally different time zone. He told me that yes, there was a problem with the blades in a small number of blenders in one of the first batches that they'd had made, but they'd now fixed the problem and he offered to send me one from the new batch as a replacement for the 41 which I bought. Now, I live out in the countryside and nothing reaches us quickly, so I was resigned to having to wait a day or 2 to get a replacement, which is why it completely blew my mind when 3 hours later a courier turned up at my doorstep with the replacement Fridja blender. So, back to the kitchen to continue the testing. So first up was a smoothie using a mixture of fresh fruit, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, mango and the banana mixed with milk. The Fridja had good results with an even smooth mixture with no big lumps, but both the Nutribullet and the Ninja had lumps of fruit and required a second blend. Next was ice and water. Both the Ninja and the Fridja produced good consistency, crushed ice just like you would get in a slushie on a single blend. The Nutribullet's blend was less successful with big chunks of ice in the water at the end. And the third test was using frozen fruit to make frozen smoothies blended with fruit juice. The Ninja had a couple of lumps left after blending, as did the Nutribullet, but the Fridja's results were smooth. I also measured the decibel reading for all three blenders whilst they blended the fresh fruit and the milk. The Ninja peaked at 84 dB, the Nutribullet slightly louder at 86 dB, and the Fridja was the quietest of them all at 83 dB. And finally, a portability test. I wanted to know how well the blenders fitted into some popular car models. First up was my neighbour's Nissan Qashqai. Both the Nutribullet and the Ninja fitted inside the cup holder, but the Fridja was too wide for the cup holder, both with the blending base on and with the bottom cap, and none of them fitted in the door pocket. I also tried all three of the blenders in my Vauxhall Corsa, which is the number 4 selling car in the UK, and none of them fitted in the cup holder. And to be honest, neither do any of my water bottles that I own, so that's really just a Corsa problem. So to wrap it up, the Nutribullet came in third place. It retails for less, but it also looks cheaper, and it didn't perform as well and lacks dishwasher safe parts. What the Fridja lacks in looks, it makes up for in performance as the lightest, most powerful, quietest and largest capacity of the three. But you might struggle to fit it in your cup holder, and it lacks a protective cover over the USB port. And finally, the Ninja has a cover for the USB port, but a different problem, which is the release button on the lid. Once that stops working, then it's no longer going to be watertight. But they do sell replacements. It did well on the blending and it did fit in the Qashqai's cup holder. So if cup holders matter, go for the Ninja, but if performance is the most important factor, I'd pick the Fridja. If you found this video helpful, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the notifications as well. If you'd like details about how you can help choose the products I review on this channel, then check the description below.